And then Poston also has a final stage. And in his final stage, he states that all of these different cultural identities will be integrated into one, and so the person will not favor one culture over another. And this is Kitch's bicultural identity development. It's similar to Poston's, but it's a little simpler, and it also, like it says, it has an emphasis on a person. Its emphasis is on a person's own perception of themselves, and then the outside world's perception of that person. And he also has the main settings being the community and the schools. So those would be the settings where the most struggle about racial identity is. So 3 different stages. First is an initial awareness, so 3 to 10 years, where a child will realize that, well, maybe they're not the same as somebody of one race or monoracial people. And then 18 young adult would be a struggle for acceptance from others. And the last one would be acceptance of themselves as people with biracial and bicultural identity. So again, this has another sort of ending point. And let's see. Okay, so now I'm going to bring a couple of group questions. So both of these stage models had ending points. Do you guys have any opinions about whether an ending point would be accurate or inaccurate as far as a person's identity? So is there an ending point, or is identity development more fluid and maybe ever-changing?
Suppose it would be accurate, like if you reach that last stage right when you die. So I mean, if we only fully accept our identity right before we die, then I say the stage is accurate.
I think it's more of like a circle, because I think you constantly changes and evolves. Like you may be confident one day and then something might happen, like some event in your life, and you might kind of go back a couple stages. So this idea of like being definite, I don't think, I disagree with that. I don't think there's that you're ever completely sure. I think you can be highly confident of who you are, but I don't think you're ever 100% sure, because that's part of life. You learn every day.
Well, then the other thing would be that there's 3 and 5 stages in these models. So is it right to put a definite number of stages, or maybe is there more, or is there no stages at all, which we'll get into with the next model. And then also both of these models are about 20 years old. So like it said, 1990, 1992. Are the issues for multiracial people different or pretty much the same from 20 years ago? Would anyone have any ideas on that?
I think it's definitely different. I mean, there might be the same issues, but I think it's the number of diversity has risen, the number of multiracial people has risen tremendously, and they're more integrated into our society now, into society now, and there's a lot different issues and different feelings and different.
So the issues are probably the same, but maybe the stages would be a little bit different for somebody who is in a younger generation today or something.
Yeah, or different issues. Yeah.
So that brings us to the last model I will talk about, which is actually not a stage model but a factor model. And this is the author of the textbook, and she uses Sinjay's 8-factor model. So she uses 8 factors, which racial ancestry, early experience and socialization, physical appearance, gender, sexuality, ability, religion, cultural attachment, political awareness and orientation, social and historical context. Okay, and so this model is represented by a galaxy, because all of these factors are in one person's galaxy, and depending on how salient a factor might be for a person, they could be close to the center of the galaxy or farther apart. One example is maybe a multiracial person who's younger, physical appearance might be a little bit more salient for them, so maybe that would be a little bit closer to the center. But then as they grow older, maybe religion becomes a more important factor. So that would then be closer to the center of the galaxy, and physical appearance might be a little bit further away. The galaxy is also a good model because different factors can appear, and different factors can also disappear from a person's galaxy, depending on the time and place they are in their life. So this kind of restates these things. And so the main facts of Wassinge's 8-factor model is the emphasis that each factor has on the choice of racial identity, the fluidity of the model where there is no necessary ending point, and a person is ever changing what they feel is right for them and how they identify themselves. And so a good quote with that was that there is no choice of racial identity that is more legitimate than others. So if a person would want, at one point in their life, would be identifying with one race, or another point identifying with more than one race, that wouldn't be more valued or legitimate than, neither would be more valued or legitimate than the other.
All right. So, you know, as we wrap it up, we want to leave you with this video. Be sure to make it quick.
Waiting. I don't know what's going on.
Well, this is a little spoken word video. It's on.
Yeah, and you need to see it because I typed everything together.
We just copy and paste it.
Can you just go to YouTube and I'll tell you what it's called?
Yeah, let's do that. Let me try explore. Okay.
Slip of the tongue.
It's tomorrow.
Which one?
That one.
Oh, this one?
Oh, it's
I think it's
on
playing
your-
on the other one.
Is it white too?
My leg burned through her. And I'm sure that such actions are important to her because the essence of her beauty is, well,
Still,
the essence of beauty.
Is that it?
And in the presence of the entire being, the beauty of my masculinity can see. I think it's on
That's why you're getting
wanna
back
be
up.
big baller, shot caller, God gifted the female beauty, shiny, true, rapper, like, I do a fucking 40, how you live on what's on this I dig your style, yo. Now, this girl was no fool, and she gives me a dirty look with the quickness, like, boy, you must be stupid. So I'm looking at myself like, boy, you must be stupid. But looking upon her, I am kind of feeling her style. So I try again, but instead of addressing her properly, I blurt out one of my fake-ass playlistic lines like, girl, you must be a traffic ticket, because you got fine written all over you. Now she's trying to leave, and I'm trying to keep her here. And so with a final attempt, I blatter, girl, what is your ethnic makeup? See, at this point, her glare is scorching through me. And somehow she manages to make her brown eyes resemble some kind of brown fire or something. But there's no snap or head movement, no palm to face, click of tongue, middle finger, roll of eyes, or girl power chant. She just glares at me with these burning eyes, and her gaze grabs me by the throat, and she says, ethnic makeup? First of all, makeup just an anglicized, colonized, commodified utility that my sisters have been programmed to consume, forcing them to cover up their natural state in order to emulate when another sister looks like in her natural state, because people keep telling her that the other sister's natural state is more beautiful than the first sister's natural state. At the same time, the other sister isn't even in her natural state because she's trying to imitate yet another sister. So in actuality, the natural state that the first sister was trying to imitate wasn't even natural in the first place. Now, I'm thinking, damn, this girl's kicking knowledge. But meanwhile, she keeps spitting on it like, fine. I'll tell you about my ethnic makeup. I wear foundation, not that powdery stuff. I wear the foundation laid by my indigenous people. It's that foundation that makes it so that past being globalized, I can still vocalize with confidence I know where my roots are. I wear this foundation not upon my face, but within my soul. And I take this from my ancestors, because I'll be damned if I ever let a European or American corporation tell me what my foundation should look like. And I'll wear lipstick, on my lips stick to the ears of men so they can experience and surround sound my screams of agony with each lash of rulers, measuring tape, and scales, as if my waistline and weight are inversely proportional to my value as a human being. See, my lips, they stick, but not together. Rather, they flail open with flames to burn down this culture that once kept them shut. And I don't mess with eyeshadow, but my eyes shadow over this timeline where you're gonna end to keep me blind, but you can't cover my eyes, look into them. My eyes foreshadow change. My eyes foreshadow light. And I'm not into hair dyeing, but I'm here dying because the suppression just won't get out of my hair. They form these highlights on my past atrocities. They tangle around my mind. The suppression, it manifests as stressing me so that even though I don't color my hair in a couple of years, it'll look like I dyed it gray. So what's my ethnic makeup? I don't have any because your ethnicity isn't something you can just make up. And as far as that shit that my sisters put on their faces, that's not makeup. It's make-believe. I can't seem to look up at her. And I'm sure that such actions aren't foreign to her because her expression shows that she knows that my mind is in a trance. As her footsteps fade, my ego is left in crutches. And rejection never sounded so sweet.
So like one of the main things to take away from my presentation was that this notion of multiracialism and this question, where are you? It's a contradiction, but more or less it's, you know, multiracialism relies on race in order to fight. Thank you.
As you are jotting down your notes on the feed forward sheets, we'll just hear from a few people, but then you'll pass in your sheet to the group so they can see all of your feedback. Vanessa.
I really like your table of contents.